Before I get started with the video, thank you to Resistakill for the mobile game footage of FFT War of the Lions and being the highest level tier of being a member. This shoutout is for you. What is up everyone, my name is J7Jace. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the best version of Final Fantasy Tactics. Now for the most part, keyword most, I want to keep these versions as close to the original game and its War of the Lions counterpart as much as possible. So I'm going to be doing quick reviews on the original FFT, FFT War of the Lions for PSP, War of the Lions for Android and iOS, and lastly the Lion War mod on PC or mobile devices. Starting off with the PS1 release or vanilla version of Final Fantasy Tactics. Now this was the gold standard of the game, from the music, story, gameplay, so awesome that it paved the way. Now the base version of the game does have weird translations at times, such as Salty Rage or the infamous Dystar's elder brother, but honestly I think it's solid for the most part and a lot of fans even prefer it. The best part of the original would have to be the sounds though. I'll do another comparison between the original and War of the Lions, with the War of the Lions audio being shown first and then the original. I hope you enjoy. Now, those were some of the audio clips, to each their own, but let's be honest, the PS1 just had better audio. If you disagree, then go get your ears checked. Next, we have FFT War of the Lions on the PSP. Now, this version has added features such as new characters like Balthier and Luso, who you can play as. New equipment, it had a completely new dialogue change, additional side quests, and even multiplayer co-op, and even a versus mode called Melee. Granted, you had to have two PSPs or could set it up through online emulation, but nowadays this can be a hassle. Also, Onion Knight and Dark Knight. Now, these additions overall were awesome. However, Luso is essentially a Ramza clone with his abilities besides Infinite Poach. Onion Knight is useless other than if you want to have some insane stats, but even then it's very time consuming, but there are some issues with it. Number one, the audio is a downgrade from the PS1 version and there's a slowdown on the abilities in the game. Now, early in my YouTube career, I did play a version of FFT with the slowdown, as this was the ISO off of PSN, and I made quite a few videos. But seriously, I had no idea I'd be making YouTube videos on the side and would eventually be monetized. The slowdown also helped me with my watch time hours, I guess. But however, let's compare the PS1 and the slowed down version of War of the Lions with these abilities, with the PS1 version being shown first. Enjoy. Now, that is a noticeable difference. You can find a patched version on the internet, however, there's no real way to fix the sounds. The translation is better for the most part, but seriously, I Am Come and Magic's, also things like Holy Explosion is now called Divine Ruination. Honestly, the person was trying too hard. This isn't the SAT test, man. Stop trying to flex your vocabulary. I forgot to add that through emulation, you can play these two versions with a controller on a PC or a laptop. Now for the third version, it's Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, but on Android or iOS. For the most part, it's the same as the PSP version. The sprites were redone and some people love them, but I don't like or hate them. You can skip cutscenes, which is cool, and there's no slowdown. However, it looks like they just sped up all the abilities instead. The audio isn't as good as the PS1 version. There's no rendezvous or versus mode, but there is a new game plus like feature where you can get the new items like grand armor once you have access to the poacher's den in a new game. Or when you open the world map and go to a poacher's den after you completed and defeated Ultima. However, nothing else carries over into your new game save file. Now, my only issue with this version is that there is no controller support if you decide to play it on BlueStacks on your computer. But one advantage is that it's a mobile version of the game, and playing on your smartphone is just convenient for many people nowadays. You can play the other versions through other emulators, but these can be a hassle to set up on an Android or iPhone, so getting this version may be the best. Now, last but not least will be the Lion War mod. Now, this version was made by the wonderful team over at FF Hacktics. Elric was the lead for this project, and he is so talented. So huge, shout out to him. I'll put more info on how to set up and play this down below. Now, I included this version because it uses the base PS1 version of the game, but it has many features found in War of the Lions, such as being able to play Rendezvous but by yourself, as in single player. You can recruit Balthier, but instead of Luso, you now get Ashley, Riot, from Vagrant Story, in what can be a pretty difficult fight. Now, alright. But where's Luso? Sadly, he was taken out as the creators wanted someone more unique. I agree with them, and for those of you that don't, have you even played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2 though? The amazing sounds are there in this version. You can play Rendezvous solo, and they even have New Game Plus. This feature was made because of the lovely Queen of Romance, Zifani, who is responsible for the FF Hacktics website and created it. So huge shout out to her as well. Now the translation is the original PS1, and some things like Divine Knight abilities won't work on monsters. But the team is slowly working on a new version called the Lion War of the Lions. Sadly, it won't have any of the overpowered items like Grand Armor, but come on. They made it so you can steal the Genji armor from Elmdor, Aliste, and even Lordly Robes from Bremon. An easy A+, and you can restart the game just in case you miss something. In my opinion, this is truly the definitive edition and way to play Final Fantasy Tactics, and the final version, or the Lion War of the Lions, will even be better. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Before I get done, a huge shout out to the members of my channel, Resistakill, Blitzball Mania, Steven, Flame, and lastly, Benjamin Bomberry. You guys go above and beyond in supporting me. Lastly, the team over at FF Hacktics for creating the Lion War mod and a bunch of other things. You help keep FFT alive along with the viewers. Like, comment, and subscribe if you love everything about Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm outie. 5000.